Hey, what's going on? Tony Scott here on this Monday. How's it going? How was the weekend? Hope it was great for you. I'm, of course, in the studios of Smooth R&B 105.7 headed towards the final hour of the Smooth Ride Home, which I host Monday through Friday from 2 to 7 and most Saturdays from 3 to 8. And if you missed my tea today, I'm here to recap some of that, some other stories too that we didn't get into tea. And, of course, with your interactions, always important that you put your comments up and we have a conversation. It's kind of a different kind of a conversation because you're not actually here with me. You understand. So New Edition had plans for a reunion tour. I mean, the BET miniseries, the New Edition story was huge. They're going to follow that up with a Bobby Brown story, right? But New Edition was hot again, and people wanted to see them in concert. Big deal. But apparently the tour is not going to happen because there's drama with the guys. Apparently, the New Edition trademark is owned by Ralph Tresvant and Johnny Gill. And Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike are upset because they're not part of it, and they want to be part of it, and they can't get their names added to the New Edition trademark. How did Johnny get a cut in line on that? Y'all was sleeping, man. Who was sleeping on the job? Johnny Gill owns the trademark. But the guys, again, Ronnie DeVoe, Michael Bivins, Ricky, and Bobby. No, they're not getting part of that, and so there's beef right there. So the fellas don't want to tour because they're not getting along over that. That's too bad. Hopefully they can work that out. I don't see why that can't be split 6 ways. They're always talking about how they're there for each other and they're brothers and they're tighter than tight and everything like that. Well, apparently they're not as tight as we thought they were, or they led on to be. Okay, DeBarge is trying to reconnect with his kids. El's got 11. He's got 12 kids. He's got 11 biological kids. He's got one child that he's always claimed as his own. And his drug problem, well documented over the years, kept him away from his children. Now he's trying to reconnect with them. There was a picture I saw, I'll link you to it at krb.com, of him and his daughter who was getting married at the time. And he says he did lose a 3-year-old daughter to the system. He told Jet Magazine when he was on drugs, she got into the system and he doesn't know where she is. She may have been adopted. So, but he's trying to do the right thing and be there for them as much as they'll let him be. Somebody posted on Facebook that it's sad, he should be ashamed of himself. We make mistakes. We're humans. He's trying to right a wrong. How bad is that? And Stevie Wonder is saying Kanye, he's calling BS on Kanye. Kanye said that slavery was a choice. I think he regrets saying that now, but he said it. And he says, and Stevie Wonder says that's, if you know your black history, then you know that's BS. Stevie was also asked if he would join President Trump's racial summit, and he said, hell no. That's a quote. So there's that. DJ Khaled said in an interview that, was it last week, that he doesn't do the oral thing on his wife. Although she's expected to please him, he doesn't do her because he's a king. I'll tell you what he is. He's a damn liar is what he is. He's a liar. He's a king. Shut up. Everybody's a king. Everybody's a king. He's lying. Come on, man. Really? Really? Now, some people say, well, you know, he's Middle Eastern descent, that culture. He gave that culture up a long time ago when he got into hip-hop, okay? Okay, let's be clear on that, right? Now, T.I. says he's all about pleasing his woman. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson also says, you know what? I ain't DJ Khaled, right? I take pride in being able to perform great in everything I do in life. Okay. And what else? Did I tell you about, you know, Jada Pinkett Smith's Facebook show, Red Table, begins today, I believe. And she's done a show, it's a show with her daughter and her mother, a talk show. And she had Gabrielle Union on one episode where they apparently had a beef for 17 years. I think I told you about that last week, where they kind of squashed that. Don't know exactly what the beef's about. I guess you'll have to watch to see what that's about. Also, she had Will's first wife, Cherie Zampino, on the show. And Jada admits that where Will's concerned, she might have been a little bit of a homewrecker. I think I told you about that, too, last week. So there's that, too. People are wondering what's up with the group 112. 112 was huge in the 90s and stuff, but apparently they lost 2 original members. Are no longer with the group. They performed very recently, and Q Parker and Darren Jones were not there performing. Even Lily from SWV was like, what's up with that? So there you go. Morgan Freeman's step-granddaughter's killer is guilty of manslaughter, but not murder. Lamar Davenport's lawyer argued that Lamar was on PCP when he stabbed Adina Hines 25 times while screaming, "I love you, I always loved you, God would have wanted this." The judge says that Lamar didn't act with malice. He was just high on drugs, so it's manslaughter. I don't really agree with that. I'm sorry. I don't see where that makes sense. And a woman threw her panties on the stage at Bruno Mars concert in the Philippines. Why is that news? Well, because apparently he picked them up with 2 fingers. I don't know, man. Why is that news? Oh, for real. What I want to know is when women, and not all women would do this, obviously, but when women plan to throw panties on the stage, do they have like a pair in their purse that they throw on stage, or do they actually take them off and then throw them on stage? And somebody answer that for me. I'm just saying. I want to know. I want to know what that's about. Let's see. Let me see. What else is going on? Did you see the video? There's a cop in California. This guy. What's his name? Jose Areola. Was at a convenience store. He bought some Mentos. And a cop, all he saw was the guy put the Mentos in his pocket. He just assumed the dude was stealing them. So he pulls a gun. He pulls a gun on a dude for stealing Mentos. And the guy was like, I didn't steal the Mentos. I paid for the Mentos. And the cop says, put the money, get your money, get out. And he drew his gun. He drew his gun because of some Mentos. What? And then the clerk says, dude, he paid for the Mentos, man. It's all good. So the cop let him go, but the man filed a complaint. Well, hell yeah, he filed a complaint. He should file a complaint. What is that about? That's crazy. And at the University of Florida graduation, have you seen the video on this? Some students, I mean, graduating from college ain't easy. I'm not a college graduate, but two of my kids are. Doing college is hard. And so these kids were celebrating on stage when they got to the diploma. They do a little dance and all that. Well, somebody from the faculty was shoving these kids, literally putting hands on these students and grabbing them and pushing them away. And the head of the college, well, the deans, chancellors, whatever they're called, he's apologized. In fact, he called the students personally to apologize to them for that behavior and says that no longer will be the case. The kids will not be restricted. They weren't restricted anyway. And I want to know who was this teacher and what made him think, this faculty member, and what made him think it was okay to do that. Because I don't get that at all. That's crazy. You can't do that. You can't put your hands on people like that. There was no policy, there's no official school policy saying that you can't do that. So how you going to stop them now? You can't do that. And you put your hands on them? Dude, come on, man. Come on, man. Janet Jackson's going to get the Billboard Icon Award and will perform, and that'll be on TV the near future. It'll be her first television performance, actually, in 9 years. 9? That's a long time. Netflix is killing sex lives for people. They say the busiest time for the internet is between 10 and 11 o'clock, and then most of that is because of Netflix, and they're saying, hey, people ain't getting it in because they're watching Netflix. Netflix and chill. What? How do they know that? I mean, I understand they can find out when's the busiest time for the internet. I get that. That's easy to track. But how do you know what people are doing? I'm just saying. Y'all hack the cameras or something? Y'all watching these people? What are y'all doing? What's up with that? So there's that, and whatever else you guys want to talk about. If I missed something, something you guys want to mention, you're more than welcome to bring it up as we get into this with missionary Patrice and Ellen, and also thank you, Patrice. Janelle is in the house, and Regina is checking in, and Martha and everybody. Yvonne, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Let's see. I saw a New Edition in concert a couple of years ago, Regina says. They did so well. I would love to see them again. Yeah, well, you know what? Everybody says they put on a good show, but this time it may not happen because there's a problem with the trademark. And the guys, there's 6 of them. 4 of them are not included in the trademark, and they don't want that. They don't want that. So DJ Khaled's sex life is private, but he's the one who said what he said. So he's the one who made his sex life public, and I don't believe him. I don't believe him. I'm sorry, I don't believe him. I do not believe him. You believe him? I don't believe him. Cindy, I don't know if they're throwing dirty panties up there. That's what I'm saying. Do they have a pair in their purse that they take out and throw, and they keep the ones they had on to keep them with? And when you put on underwear, if you put on underwear like right now, does that make them automatically dirty because you've got them on now? That makes them dirty? That automatically. The minute the second leg goes through the leg hole, they're dirty. Is that the deal? I don't know. The throwing the panties is nasty, Regina says. It's a nasty thing. I heard they're going to make it an Olympic event. I'm just saying. The hatred is getting real. These people are starting to believe they are superior. Well, Donna, I don't think I think it's always been there. I think they're empowered. And they're empowered because of one person. And we know who that person is. I think it's always been there. It's always been there. And so I remember some people were saying that now that Obama was president years ago that racism was over. Oh, it's not? Who the hell told you that? Just because we got a black president, racism automatically ended? What are you, stupid? It's like, wait, what the hell? What is that? What is that? Polly, I'm doing great. Thank you so much. So you're saying the minute the second leg goes in the leg hole, they thereby are deemed sweaty. I did see the Childish Gambino, Donna. What'd you think? I thought it was very interesting. There's a lot of symbolism in there, right? There's a lot of frankness in there. There's a lot of honesty in that video, and I think it was pretty brilliant myself. The message. I think a lot of people miss the message, and people are debating what the message is. And the message is that for people who look like Donald Glover, a.k.a. Childish Gambino, look like you, look like me, that's our reality. That is our reality. And I don't think people who never had, that's not their reality. It's hard for them to accept that there's a lot of truth in that video. Because that's not what they see. That's not what they're subjected to. They're not the ones being followed around the store. They're not the ones who, when they walk on the sidewalk and a woman comes the other way, she grabs her purse and holds on tight because you're walking towards her. That's not their experience. That a cop just looks at you like you're a suspect. For a lot of people, that's not their reality, so they're not going to relate to this. To them, this is like, why is he shooting people in the video? Because they don't know. They don't. That's not their life. That's not their reality. And that's just too bad. I guess because they lack empathy. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's great. If you can go through life without being a victim of anything based on the color of your skin or be called a name because of the color of your skin, if you go through life like that, that's fantastic. I think. I don't know. I haven't, that luxury left me before I was a teenager. I'm just being honest with you. But a lot of people, that's their life. They've never had that problem. Well, good for you. But that's not reality. And I think people miss the whole thing. They're empowered right now because of a certain man who's president. He's their guy, no matter what. You talk about ride or die. You want to talk about ride or die. These supporters of the president are ride or die. They're going to follow him. They're going to follow him straight into hell. They really are. They're going to follow this man straight into hell. And it's just not common folk. I mean, look at Franklin Graham. Billy Graham's son says that the president's relationship with Stormy Daniels is nobody's business. Well, the hell it ain't. If he paid somebody off, which is not illegal unless he used campaign money, but that aside, that means that he's susceptible to being blackmailed. And if you're president of the United States, you can't have that. You can't be susceptible to blackmail. We can't have that. Because next thing you know, we're swearing in Putin over here. But those, he's the Pied Piper of the Republican Party right now, and he is playing that. He's playing that little. He's playing it, man, straight into hell, and they're going to follow. They're going to follow him straight in there too. Regina says, does one member trademark the name of a group? No, not necessarily. I mean, in New Edition's case, actually, Johnny Gill and Ralph Tresvant own the trademark. So it can be all six. It can just be one. It just depends.